All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Richard's Rant. A pleasant good morning to all and sundry, to sundry and all. As you know, the morning is that special time of the day when you're just waking up and nothing bad has yet happened. And that is the sentiment that I always wish you on this and every edition of Richard's Rant. I had every intention of doing this rant freestyle, but I guess the universe decided that it would fuck me up. And quite frankly, right now, I'm tired. And maybe I could use this emotion. So let's take a journey together. Usually the rants are freestyle, but we have little points and anchors, little Hansel and Gretel situation, breadcrumbs, marbles, wherever have you. But this one is straight from wherever, perhaps not the universe, because it really tried to fuck me up. This is the fourth time that I'm recording. I was well in my groove before, and that's the product I would have preferred because I was enjoying saying that one before, but that was more than an hour ago, and now I'm tired. But I'm doing this because I want to do it. I'm doing this because I like it. I I like that I'm able to add something to you, that something of me can add something to you, and that's invaluable to me. I believe that that is the purpose for our existence. Because, as you would remember from one of the earlier rants, none of us are special, and that's the truth. But we're a little bit retarded. You see, we all differently able, and as such, we all have to be measured by our individual metrics. So that makes us individually special, and of course, the beauty of that is that all of us have that individuality, but part of a community is like a potluck. Everybody brings something. You pick up something, you bring something, and we hold a vibe. And that is what this life, I think, that is what this life was supposed to be about. If it is, you jump in the Bible, in Genesis. They will talk about how God made us in His own image and likeness to love Him and to serve Him. And quite frankly, if you were the only being in existence with infinite power, what else would you do? You'd be lonely. So you'd start to make things, and then you would want to make something to talk to you, and I guess you would want to be loved or appreciated, or you wouldn't want to feel alone. So if we were made in His own image and likeness, then we are individual pieces of a puzzle to connect to a whole, possibly. But if God had a choice, do you think He will choose to exist or not to exist? Because it is possible that He only exists because nothing exists. Nothing can't exist unless there's something to compare it to. If there isn't anything to compare nothing to, then nothing would not exist. So for nothing to exist, for there to be nothing, there has to be something. So what if He only exists because there is nothing? Would He choose to exist? If you had a choice, and that's assuming that you believe that He exists, but that's a whole other story. For the purpose of this rant, it have a God. For the purpose of the rant. Because in my own personal belief. There is something. Only time will tell if it's the embodiment of God as we might see or as is portrayed. But there's something, be it a collective force, maybe when we all channel our energies somewhere, it amalgamates into some kind of an entity, or I'm also very warm on the concept that it may not have anything. And I believe that that's the foundation of faith, to believe when there's no proof, and to be humble enough to know that you could be on shit, you could be wrong. But I think it's a very lonely existence for you to create something to love you. And I would hope that that's not why we reproduce. I would hope not. And in so doing, some parents could do a little bit better in getting that love, because it not unconditional. Really, it not unconditional at all. Which brings me to another thought. If you, yeah, you had the choice to be born into this life, we're not talking about your children or your loved ones. We're talking just you. If you had a choice to be born or not to be born, not talking about natural instinct to, survive and all that. You just had a choice. What would you choose? Now, if you chose, yeah, I want to be born, I want to be all up in this shit, I real fucking jealous of you because I don't know what it is you see and to really motivate you in this tapestry of folly. And if it is you said anything other than yes, then I urge you to use your talent, discover your talent, use your talent to make things better for others. Whatever your particular gift is, nobody can do it like you. When you do this, it has a positive effect. You know what it is, you feel it, you discount it, but you know it. Do that. And in so doing, you'll get meaning for your life, for your boredom, for your frustration, for your disenchantment, for your neutrality. In so doing, you get that validation and that purpose. And you can look back at it and use it to look forward, and it would be great. It would keep you going. The reality is, we live in a very fucked up reality. And the saddest thing for me is that it's not the universe or God or the devil or faith or circumstance or serendipity, whoever the ass she is, Mercy Felicity sister, but it's not any of those entities doing it, We're doing it to ourselves. But I get these glimmers of hope. I call it hope because it's important to me. I get these random glimmers that, maybe things would get better or different for maybe things are moving in a different trajectory. Coming home today in the taxi, coming home from the grocery, there were, I would say, 1,000,000 cones, orange cones on the road. I would say 1,000,000. And there were 2,000,000 people painting white lines. The taxi driver became incensed, and I was impressed. What he was explaining is that this is fuckery. Now, these are my words, not his. didn't use any obscenities, but as they say, if you have to use obscene language, then you don't have a good vocabulary at all. So, my vocabulary is a bit inept by that theory. But he was explaining that it was fuckery, and he was correct, it was fuckery. Because, and I let him go. I didn't. First to begin, he was trying to talk to the woman on the front seat in futility. I think that she thought it was not fuckery. And she wanted, she must was going in the CPAP office or wherever these jobs is just giveaway to get her scene handled as well, and she probably didn't appreciate the negative feedback. But I was listening, and I gave him extra money when I left the car. I paused on that because I was thinking how much hours I work for to give him that extra money as an hourly paid worker. Oh, it was worth it though. So, the reality is that what he was saying, there are, even if it is you giving away jobs to paint the road, Trinidad full of road that need painting. Why all 2 million of them playing the ass here? Why it is all of them black? All of them come from Piccadilly Street. We were by Piccadilly Street and environs. That is what they're voting for. And then they want to talk about how the other government racist, but they racist, they just vote by race just like everybody else. But that is why they're voting by race, because this is what they like. This is the shit that they like, and they're just wasting the country money and resources. And what benefit is this bringing to anybody? And I was like, wow, or maybe I should have told him to listen to this. Maybe could it be a guess? Because I only having these thoughts now. So things like that, because I wouldn't expect one of my taxi drivers to hold that mindset. I fully stereotyped them, and I wouldn't even say stereotype because I just expect it was the norm. This is like saying, oh, the sun, you're a cold sun? Okay, I thought all the suns was hot. So it's not a stereotype. He probably weird, like me. Because I expected him to just be on the eater food situation. And I needed that injection because, as we know, the volcano erupted in St. Vincent. And I didn't realize that my phone could stoops. I don't know if you know your phone could stoops, but I'm pretty sure that is not unique to my phone. But my phone could stoops because you see, what had happened is the volcano erupted and people started sending me messages about how it's the end of the world, the sun blackout and all of these things. And I, what happened is that the phone started to play the notification, it see the message and it stopped. Nothing was wrong with it, it had battery, everything. So it stoops, the phone stoops. And I stoops too. Because I am wondering, is it that you want the world to end? I wouldn't blame you. But you can't really seriously believe in 2021 because of volcano erupt that Jesus coming. Jesus coming, Jesus late. No matter, Jesus coming since the first eclipse. And depending on the religion or the version of Christianity that you might follow, he ain't even come yet. So, I was amazed to see things like that. And it started circulating even for Easter. For those of you all who don't know, the world was supposed to end on Easter Sunday. Guess they'll try again next year. And we live in a world with people who actually wholeheartedly believe these things. I'm not sure why. I'm not talking about people that believe that are religious. I'm talking about people that are religious to the point that they are looking for the end of the world. That everything is sad, that it's doom, that it's gloom. You need to fast and pray and repent. There'll be great weeping and gnashing of teeth. My favorite story in the Bible is when Jesus made wine. Not in the end for them to drink and eat his blood and body, But in the wedding feast of Cana, you had all the power of the universe. You could even make a fruiter, a little orange juice, a little no, you make a wine, and I want, hmm, I wonder why he didn't make. He could have make a moet. My boy make wine. My boy was vibes, you know. In this rant, I find myself maybe for some reason thinking over old thoughts because it could really all just be so simple. Just treat each other nice. Don't do to people what you wouldn't want them to do to you. And just because you like it like this doesn't mean that they like it like this. So be kind enough to check in like a waiter. Be kind enough to not lead people on for whatever reason, nothing that could make them emotionally vulnerable to you. Be kind, just be kind. That's all. And everything that's just, mellow out, ease out. Why can't we just do that? With this same volcano that erupted, people created fake news. Why are you creating fake news? The volcano in St. Vincent not even big enough for you to create fake news for it to drive viewers or clickbait to whatever your social media situation might be. And most importantly, it wasn't even linked to anything. So I don't even know if it was purely in ignorance or not. But why create fake news? And that's the world we live in, where you are so tormented, you can't enjoy life. You have to look for the future, or you have to be trapped in the past, or you have to look so far into the future you're looking into the afterlife. And when you could just do something destructive, because why create fake news? Why does Cambridge Analytica exist? Why social media? And this again reminds me of another rant where I said everything could be tied back to love, but it gets corrupted. Social media was created as an extension of humanity, of our need to connect, possibly given straight from God. Why is it polarizing communities, citizens, people? Because you no longer see similarities, all you see is differences. All it does is amplify your fears, your concerns with propaganda and straight up fake news. We're in the middle of a pandemic. This is the best pandemic that the world ever went through. No set of people dying. Yeah, people die, but no set of people dying. You're leaving your house normal, you're going down the road in a maxi, in a car. That's happening across the world, even in the places where people dying. They have cable, they have internet, they have food, they have Uber. It's not like, even Italy, where it having the mass graves and whatnot, they would have it the worst. But they still have internet and this. It's not like everything shut down, everything is lost. If it is, the vaccine is legit. We should be proud that we had the foundation from creating other vaccines that we could have just tweak a little thing here, put a little extra salt, put some pepper, a little garlic, add a little golden ray, that rich Creole flavor, and a little coconut milk, and boom, we get a vaccine. But you don't even know if you could trust the vaccine. You have no clue because of all this fake news. And why we didn't highlight how well we were able to deal with the pandemic. Why instead it had hatred against China. I don't get it. YouTube was created as a dating site. You were supposed to upload your video to try to get a match. Now YouTube has an algorithm that sends me music and videos that it wouldn't send to you. So what we supposed to do? Talk about it? But that was designed just to keep us individually locked in so that they could put ads so that they could make money. How did that? Look at where it came. Look at where it's why? How much money is enough money? What are you gonna do with all that money? Well, I mean, Elon Musk showing us what he gonna do. My boy become his own NASA. But if you wanted, if you would have chosen to be born, if you enjoy being here, if you want to bring the world of children and you want to breed, you want to get breed, you want to adopt, you want to get a cat, I'm happy for you. Because ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. But if it is you are cursed enough to see things as they are, how they are supposed to be, and where they might go, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Learn to live in the moment. Learn to live in your moment. Learn to live your truth. And be kind to yourself. And be kind to others. And create memories, you know? You know, anything could really create a memory. You ever make groceries drunk? That is a memory. Has been a memory. Once I had to do business with an insurance company, and I called my best friend, and we sat down in the waiting room, which was after Corona, so the waiting room extended outside, and we bring things to eat. And when I say things to eat, I don't mean conkers, sandwiches, cake, I think it had sweet bread, drinks, and I ain't talking water. And we had a time. It took them 3 hours to sort out whatever they were doing. I don't know. And that was basically a boat ride. And that is a memory that we have. It's not hard. We're making it difficult for no reason. And we need to stop it. I would admit the original vision of this rant was more comical, but I guess that's not what the universe wanted. So thank you again for listening. Remember to share it, subscribe to the vibe, comment towards our betterment. Vibes.